I read it and it was fast and kept me guessing, and I thought, you know, I got some laughs out of it, and it was at once terrifying and kind of absurd at the same time. It had a kind of a weird mixture of elements that I kind of found kind of charming. One has to realize the potential of, you know, what you read, and find more in it if you possibly can, which I think we did. And I did that with, you know, we sat with a writer and we went through the script a couple of times and mined a few more nuggets of gold out of it. And then, of course, then when the performers come along, like Mark and Michelle and Topher, they bring their own bag of tricks. So it's really nice to work with other people who have, who realize the potential of their own artistic endeavor and sort of bring the game, you know. It had its challenges, but was big enough to be able to get around. And, you know, full kudos to the camera guys and the crew and the lighting and everybody, and the set designer, because he was key. David Meyer, he understood, and I was fully on board with him, that you had to have a plane that could be modular, that you had to be able to yank the windows out and take the nose off, and, you know, you had to be able to pull it apart and put it back together again, so you could actually shoot. So the practicality of the set and the engineering involved in a very short amount of time by the production designer is nothing short of miraculous. He's real good at what he does. I worked with Johnny on a film, a little small budget film up in Canada one time, and I noted at the time that they had no budget and no time, but it looked amazing. And I thought, I think I need to work with that guy, and I was absolutely right, because this film looks amazing, and we shot it in 22 days with other technical advances at our disposal that neither of us had ever used before. But now we're kind of, you know, we went to school on this one. Anytime you're in an aircraft, it's going to be claustrophobic. And I think, you know, we've played into probably almost everyone's dis-ease, or if I can call it that, or fear of flying, altitude, you know, fear of falling, fear of crashing, all those things. And so we had a very small space. The beauty of it was that it takes place over these Alaskan Alps, which are really stunning and really spectacular, and at the same time kind of intimidating and scary. So although it is in a plane, it sort of feels open, and the vistas are spectacular. So it has a big scope, which is what I really liked about the setting. She's very accomplished, and I think from what I've seen of her, she's able to convey a whole lot in very little. She's extremely subtle in what she's telling you with just the facial expression and stuff. So, you know, I study that kind of stuff, and I knew she was good. So, you know, what's not to dig about that? She expressed interest, she liked the script, and I'm like, okay, let's go. You just have to say action and cut. She just does it, man. She just brings it. Yeah, the only guy that doesn't need to be shackled is him. And he is. And so that's, you know, in a way, the character's kind of archetypal, you know. The accountant who's like, you know, kind of a gentle soul, really, and pretty fearful. And, you know, all of a sudden he's living his own personal id in every way. He's playing some kind of psychopath. He's a psychopath. And at the same time, it's kind of like weirdly amusing. I don't even know how to describe that, but he understood that, and he managed to pull it off and give it just the right turn, you know, the right level of, you know, you almost want to laugh at some of the stuff he says, but it's like so horrible, you know. But, you know, he treaded that, you know, he walked that line really well. But that's his game, you know. I think he's a little more methodical than he would like to admit. And he really gets into it. I think you root for them because intrinsically they're just affable, likable, they have humor, they have flaws, they have things that we all identify with, and they displayed those things. And the script gives them ample opportunity to exhibit those qualities within themselves. So, you know, I think you'll dig them. I dug them. I loved my characters, even the dudes on the radio, you know. Well, we got some very talented people and camera angles, and you know what can be done in this space to approximate, you know, some pretty violent exchanges, and I think we managed to do that in a small space, because action is it's difficult even with lots of space, but when you're trapped in this little place, to get it and get it so it really works, you know. Full kudos and credit go to the you know, the camera team and the stunt team, I think, in being able to, you know, make the space for that to happen. When I read it, what it did to me when I read it, was I just found it engaging and fast, and I laughed a bunch, and it was like at the same time kind of a shock here and there, and it was like I thought, wow, you know, when I finished quick, and I was entertained by it, and amused by it, and terrified by it, and at the same, you know, and I thought, you know, I just want to share what I see in it with other people.